This is exciting. Like I said, this is going to be really laid back. So, whether you're in America or you're over in Australia or wherever you're dialing in from tonight, thanks for being here. Kick back, relax. I know, obviously, if you're in America, you're going to be getting ready for bed soon, maybe putting the kids to sleep. And so, just get comfortable. We're going to get started diving into some information very shortly. Excited for you guys also out in Australia. I know several of you are dialing in, and so thankful to have you guys and to have my family expanded across the world. So, what I want to do first is kind of share with everyone what we're going to be doing tonight. And so you guys know what the heading of the webinar is. It's about prospecting, how to get a positive response when you're prospecting. And this is something that, when I got started 6 years ago, it wasn't easy for me. I went through some trial and errors, right? Several of them. It took me, honestly, it probably took me a couple of years to really get the hang of it. And what I want to do is fast forward that for you guys and allow you to take your business to the next level starting tomorrow or starting right after this webinar. And so I've got my notes over here, so bear with me. Like I said, we're going to be relaxed, and I like relaxation when I'm speaking because I get nervous. I'm not going to lie, I'm not, I don't expect you to think that I'm the best at everything that I do, and I like to keep it real. Right? So I'm going to run over my story. I want you to hear my network marketing story. And so I want you to understand that we have people dialed in from many different companies, many different industries, actually. And so it's going to be very interesting to see what the outcome is with this in every industry, from everyone's business that has dialed in with us tonight. And so hopefully my story can impact someone to, if they haven't yet decided to get started in network marketing, because that is what we promote, then maybe my story will impact someone enough that they make the decision to get started as well and see how simple it can be, right? And so I'm going to share my story. I'm going to share those prospecting little secrets that I have. I told Brandon I'm going to start having my little secrets is going to be the heading of my webinar series. So just know this is not the one and only webinar I'm going to do. There's going to be more coming. I actually used to do webinars several years ago on a weekly basis. Now, I don't know if those are going to be coming out on a weekly basis or a monthly basis or what it's going to look like, but there will be something very similar to what we're doing tonight, a little more consistently. Where you can dial in and you can get your new team members on. I think that all of our companies really do a great job of providing training, and I can just say that maybe I have a different perspective and maybe your perspective lines up with mine. We all gain something different from everyone, and so I'm going to share those prospecting tips on this webinar. When we get done, give me some feedback. Tell me some different areas in your business you're struggling with, and we'll try to hit those in the future webinars, okay? So always give me feedback. It helps me decide what topics probably would be best suited to help everyone grow. And so after that, I'm going to give you a challenge. I think that having the information, learning the information is great, but if we just sit on it, it didn't do us any good and it was a waste of our time. So I'm going to give you some information and I want you to take action with it, and you have 24 hours to do that. Now, I can't sit there and follow you around and track it with you. It's going to be hard for me to be, all 100 people that are logged into this webinar. It's going to be really hard for me to come and, catch up with you and say, hey, did you do that in 24 hours? So be your own accountability partner. Set a goal with the challenge I'm going to give you to get it done. After that, I've got a gift for you. And I hope that you'll take advantage of it. I think it's an incredible tool for everyone to take advantage of it, in or out of network marketing. Definitely some great value that has been put into this program. And I'm excited to give you guys the benefit of taking part in that at a very discounted rate. So I'm going to be giving that gift to you. And at the end of this, you'll notice this is only going to be a 30-minute webinar, so I'm going to give you about 20 minutes of content. But at the end, I'm going to open this up, And you'll notice over, I think it might be on your left-hand side, that you'll see the chat screen. Some people are already commenting on it. Towards the end, I'm going to open it up for about 5 minutes for a Q&A. Now, I'm probably only going to take 3, maybe 4 questions, depending on the length of those. So be thinking what questions you could ask me. Be very specific about your questions. You'll notice on my Facebook page, I spoke the other day about, really being, sorry, I'm getting some connection issues here, but really being clear and concise about, what you're trying to accomplish. And so that also means for your questions that you're going to ask as well. And really just, taking advantage of that time and not wasting any of it. So I'm only going to be able to take 3 or 4. Be sure that the content lines up with the content I'm sharing with you. So maybe you want me to expand on something about prospecting, about list building and different things, or maybe, it's something that is very similar to the content of prospecting. So I'm about to get started. I'm going to pull up my notes here. I have some things written, of course, on my phone because that's where I take my notes. And so what I want to start with is list building. And it's very important in getting started in your network marketing business or any business, anything where you're going out and you're doing some sort of prospecting, to have a list. And here's what I can tell you about a list, is that if a list is in your head, guess where your check's going to be? In your head. And so I encourage you to put that on paper, take it out of your head, write it down on paper, right? And from that, you're going to put your check on paper. And I'm going to show you how to go from having it on paper to the check, right, in paper. So list building. And so here are some things that I want you to ask yourself is, if you are just getting started, wouldn't it be a great idea to start with people you already know? Some people get into the industry or get into prospecting and they say, well, I should really start with people I don't know because I'm nervous, or I don't want to be the person at the family reunion that, that people think I'm a weirdo. Well, guys, think about it this way, though. If you don't go tell your friends and family, and maybe those people that you see on a weekly basis, your co-workers, your church-going friends, if you don't share it with them, and in a year from now, you have huge success, don't you think they might get a little angry that you never shared it with them? And wouldn't you like to share your success with those people? So put those people on your list. And I would encourage you, don't prejudge. Don't think of someone's name and say, well, they don't really have the money, so I probably shouldn't put them on my list. Well, yes, that's exactly why you should put them on your list, because they need the money and you can help them get that. So everyone goes on the list, okay? Don't prejudge. Everyone goes on the list. And here are some other things I want you to think about. And because I know we have, people who are just getting started, that just got started yesterday in network marketing. We also have people dialed in that have been in the industry for years. And some of those people have probably blasted through all of their friends and family probably 10 times over. And so they're looking for, how do we go and meet new people? How do we add people to our list? And I've got a great story I'm going to share with you. But here are some questions to think about. And the first one is, where are you placing yourself on a weekly, daily basis? Who are the people that you're placing yourself around? And what type of people are they, right? So are they business owners? Are they excited people? Or are they over here, they're like crabs in a bucket and they're just pulling you down? Be sure you know who the people are that you're around. And so ask yourself this: when's the last time that you placed someone, or that you placed yourself inside of a new crowd? And so this leads into a story that I want to share with you. Last year, back in April, my husband and I, Brandon, moved down to Florida. We're originally from Kentucky. And so, we moved from Kentucky and we got down to Florida, and I said, we don't know anyone. And we were wanting to build on the Emerald Coast. We live on the Emerald Coast up on the panhandle of Florida. And I wanted to do something big. And I knew that in order to do something big, I needed to put myself in front of people who had influence, people who were ambitious, people who were already entrepreneur minded, right? And so I had a really cool group that I put myself into on Facebook. And that group is called United Sisterhood. And I just had dinner with the girl who started that group tonight, and she's incredible, has a heart of gold. But I inserted myself in that group. And from that, I started to kind of network and see, who are the people in the area that are or not network minded, but who are who are entrepreneurial minded and, had the qualities I was looking for. And because I put that out in the universe, right? I said, this is what I'm looking for. And because I did that, wouldn't you know, a girl actually made a post on there that said, is there anyone around the Destin area who's looking to share their business with 30 of the most influential business owners in Destin? And I was like, me. I am, right? And so at that point, I said, Brandon, we have to go. And here's what's really funny, and my husband's great at network marketing. He's taught me everything I know, but sometimes we get in our own little ways, and he said, no, I don't want to go. And I said, but we've got to, babe. We have to go. And so take that as a lesson. Sometimes we don't want to do stuff. I can promise you, I probably really didn't want to go, but there was something that I knew I needed that was above that. I wanted to get to the next level in our company, and so that's part of it, right? Building our list. And so he decided finally, okay, we'll go. And we get to this meeting, and the people that we meet, it was a room full of at least 30 people. And we get to this event, and it's just incredible, the people that we were meeting. I was completely blown away by how much they were truly there to help other people. And what was so interesting is that we're sharing our business. Some of you guys have probably been part of networking groups before. This one was phenomenal. And when you're able to sit in a room around people who, let's be honest, they're trying to sell you on whatever it is they have to offer, right? That's what we were there to do. And so what was so incredible is that while they're doing that, I left that room feeling amazing. And so I knew that was the crowd I wanted to be around. And so we continued to go back time and time and time again. We started doing sit downs with these guys. And in this group, it's called partner planning sessions. And so we started doing that. We started going to, just going to lunch with them, getting to know them. And here's what's cool, and here's where I'm going to give you a couple of great tips, is I didn't go into these meetings saying, let me tell you about me and what I do. I said, what do you do? And what can I help you achieve in what you're doing? And sometimes I had a solution. Not every time, but sometimes. And so that's how Brandon and I started doing some really great big things on the Emerald Coast. And it was simply because I said, I want to get in front of these type of people. I spoke that into existence, right? I made a list of the type of people I wanted to be around, and so I went and got in front of them. It just happened. I was intentional, right? I was very intentional about what I wanted to get done, and I went and got it done. It happened for me. And so here's what I want you to remember as you're meeting people, and this is whether you've known them your entire life or you just met them yesterday. Here's what I want you to do. And so write this down. I want you that before you share your story, I want you to learn their story. I want you to hear from them. We should be listening more than we're talking. You know why I don't like getting on webinars and getting in front of a room? Is because I have to talk. I have to come up with all of this stuff to make you like me, more or less, right? I've got to make you like me. Well, you know what's easier? For me to ask a question in 10 seconds and to let you talk for 3 minutes, right? And I can build more questions off of what you say. I can listen more than I talk. That's easier for me. And you'll find that if you'll practice this, it's easier for you. That's all it is. Just ask more questions. So listen to their story. And here's something I was talking to Brandon about earlier, is that when we're talking to people and they're sharing their struggles with us, that's when you know they trust you. And when people trust you, there's a lot that you can help them with. And your company is one of them. I almost said my company. But your company, whatever that is probably in one way or the other, whether it's your products or your services or, the actual opportunity associated with it, you can offer that, right? So share, or let them share their story first, and then if they ask, sure, share your story, but share it, and you've got to practice this too. Share it in 2 minutes or less. And so I'm going to share my story here in just a minute. I was supposed to do it on the front end, but I'll do it here in a second. But listen more than you talk, and find out how you can positively impact their life in or outside of your business. You want to provide value to them. Always provide value, right? All right, so here's the other thing is we also want to provide a clear solution. So if someone comes to you and they say, I have this problem, okay? And whatever that problem is, you're searching through your mind and you're saying, okay, this is their problem. I need to find a solution for this. And so you're searching through obviously what's going to get you paid because, that's not selfish. That's, survival. We need money to survive. We have to eat. We need, water. We need light, whatever. We need a roof over our head. And so I'm going to try to provide them a solution with my business. And in doing that, I need to come up with a game plan of how I'm going to present this to you, present this to the prospect. Now, a game plan does not mean that you need to sit down for a week and talk to 20 upline leaders about what you're going to say to this person. You've got to become responsible, and you've got to learn exactly what to do. You've got to learn this. You've got to be willing to fail. Failure after failure after failure is how I got to where I am today. I failed on webinars 1,000,000 times before I figured it out, right? I used to have webinars and never even get on it because I didn't know how to hit the on air button. And so you've got to come up, though, with a clear solution and path for that prospect's issue. And so getting to know the prospect is going to be the first thing you need to do. Know what the problem is and know why they're having this problem. And in all of that and asking more good questions, you're going to learn what the best solution is, and you're going to learn how to best lay it out for them. And so when they do share their struggles, do not immediately offer a solution either. That's the second thing to this. When they share their struggle, don't say, oh, I got a solution. Because what does that say? That means the whole time you were just fishing for information to sell them on something. Right? You didn't have their best interest at heart. If you immediately just say, oh, I got the answer. You were just waiting for that one key word to hit. No, slow down a little bit, right? Start listening more to people. And when you listen, find the problem, and then know what the solution is, because you should be able to figure out the solution pretty quick, but put a little thought into the right game plan for them. Right? And ask more questions to figure out what is going to be best for them. It's going to be different for everyone. So at the end of this, don't ask me, what questions do you say when some vague thing. It's going to be specific, right? There is no exact answer for that. It's going to be different for everyone. And so where are we at? So we've now, so far, just reflect, we've built a list, and we've done that by simply placing ourselves in front of people that we want to meet, right? And then we're going to add value. We're going to listen to their stories before we share what we can provide with a clear solution and a clear game plan for them. And here's a really quick tip for you after all of that. Do not be a sleazy salesman. Have integrity. That's the biggest thing in this business. If you get the icky feeling about something that you're doing or something that you're saying, just don't do it. It's that simple. If it doesn't feel good, it probably isn't good. I get really annoyed with people who go out here and they just sling this at people, and they overpromise things that you can't promise. That someone's going to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. You can't promise that. I don't have 30 pounds to lose. If I lost 30 pounds, I would be nothing but bone. You can't go out and promise that to people, right? You can share stories, but you cannot promise it for everyone. And so do not be a sleazy salesman. Do not overpromise, okay? And don't bend the truth. I already said do not overpromise, and if you get the icky feeling, then it's a bad idea. So I think that's pretty simple to understand. If you get the icky feeling, it's a bad idea. Don't do it. And if you're trying to reach out of the box, just stop. Uh, on trying to oversell someone. If you're trying to oversell someone, you're trying to convince them. And in this business, if you're trying to convince them, you're going to be convincing them to do it the entire way. You're going to be convincing them every month to stay on the products. You're going to be convincing them every day to take the product or to continue with the service. It's not worth your time. Because while you're trying to convince someone else, you could have gone and enrolled 5 other people and helped them change their life, right? All right, so the next thing I want to move on to is, this is so important. This probably ties everything around together, from the list building to going out and exposing people to whatever you have. It is very important to understand that this is not a one and done business. You don't go outside and you don't yell your company's name at someone and they say, sign me up. That's not how this works. You're there to provide value to them. And so here's how that works for you. Here's how you go from someone having, being on your list to someone deciding, yes, I want to be on those products, use that service, get with that company. Here's how you do it. 4 to 6 exposures. And what are exposures? 4 to 6 exposures. So if you're taking notes, write that down. 4 to 6 exposures. And then you're going to have an 80% chance that they are actually going to join you in whatever aspect that is. An 80% chance. Here's a very interesting fact. After one time just telling someone, there's only a 2% chance they'll say yes. And so when someone says, well, I told them about it, number one, they probably went and threw up all the information on them. But I told them about it. Oh, okay. Well, that's great. Well, why didn't they join me? Well, they don't even know you or what you're trying to present to them yet. So why would they join? So 4 to 6 exposures, sharing tools with them. And tools are going to be different for every company. I love videos. Videos get things across to the prospect so quick, right? It's like a trailer to a movie. Brandon used that analogy last night. It's like a movie to a trailer. You get the gist of what the movie's going to be about, right? And so videos are phenomenal. Introducing them to other people in the company to share, their testimony and stories. It is a great way of doing it. But just sharing more information in small pockets is exactly what you want to do. And you control the process. You control how long it takes. And if you want someone to get enrolled in 48 hours, then don't be lazy. Get up and get them in front of the information as fast as you can. If you're putting them on connection calls, don't do one connection call and then say, okay, can I get you on a call again in 24 hours? No. Do a connection call, and then as soon as that expert hangs up, say, oh, hey, if you've got 5 more minutes, hang on 1 second and get them on the call with someone else immediately. That's 2 exposures in like 20 minutes. That just makes sense to me. So you guide that process. You can't blame anyone else. You determine how long it takes. And so you're simply adding value through doing those processes or through doing those exposures. And so one and done is not an option to have success. Throw that out. Don't get angry when you do one connection call and they don't join. It's not going to happen. 4 to 6 exposures, 80%. Guys, that's not even 100% chance. Okay? 4 to 6 exposures gives you 80% chance. Now, at 7 exposures, you're probably looking at 81%. So we're just, 4 to 6 exposures, that's a really good spot to be in. And use multiple tools, and you control the length of time. So those are my tips. I'm going to give you one challenge. And here's my challenge for you to do. I think I said 24 hours earlier. I forgot what the challenge was I put down. I'm going to give you a week. So this is what I would like to see you do in the next week. Now, if you're brand new to network marketing, then this is not where I would like to see you focus yet. I would like to see you focus on, your family and your friends and your coworkers and, the people that you see on a weekly basis. Focus on those people. Put their name on a list and you blast through those. And when you get to the point that you need to start adding people to your list, which is where I would say the majority of people joining in with us tonight are, here's what I want you to do. and you have 1 week to do this, 1 week. I want you to go find a group of people that you can join. So I joined a networking group. Maybe your town has a networking group. Most do. If they don't, you can start one. It's not difficult to do, and Facebook makes it so easy. But do not misinterpret that. I'm not saying go do a Facebook group. You do not meet people on Facebook. You've got to get off Facebook and go meet people face to face. I don't trust people on Facebook. I'm going to need to see you face to face so we can actually exchange some expressions rather than just texting, right? So I can actually read your expression and hear it. And so go insert yourself into a new group of people, and be sure you make that list of the type of people that you want to be around. So you've got 1 week, and I would love to hear, go to Jessica Hayes, my Facebook page, Jessica Hayes org, so facebook.com/Jessica Hayes org, O-R-G, and give me some feedback on that. Let me know the type of groups that you're, getting involved with, the type of people you're looking to be involved with, and keep me informed on how it's going. I want to hear, some of your results. I like to have feedback. So that is my challenge to you. And so here is going to be my gift to you for signing in tonight, and then I'm going to open it up for a quick Q&A. Here's my gift. There is a program called My Virtual Gap that is absolutely incredible. And so I know that they're still loading in some authors and their books, but it's basically an accountability partner. And I can tell you that my story got incredibly better when I started to personally develop myself. Something that you need to know is that your income will never outgrow you. And so when I learned that, I knew I needed to grow a lot because I was way down here, and then I started growing. I got like about right here is probably where I am. I need to be up here, so I'm still growing. I'll never stop. But this is a program that you can get in. It's an accountability partner. It's going to just touch base with you every single week via email. Just a reminder to get back in this. The authors of these books have submitted some videos to help guide you through their books. Some of them have provided some extra perks for you. The program provides perks for you. So I encourage you to go check it out. It's typically $9.97 a month. But I've got a promo code for you. It's only good until midnight tonight. And so it's 9 Central right now. So you have 3 hours, 10, 11, 12, 3 hours from the time that we end this webinar to go and use this code. And so you're going to go to myvirtualgap.com, and GAP stands for Growth Accountability Partner. Okay, so myvirtualgap.com, and the promo code is GROW NOW, GROWNOW, GROW NOW. That's going to give you 50% off. You're going to pay $4.99 for the first 3 months. And so anything that you can do for 90 days typically becomes a habit. I want you to make a habit out of growing yourself. It's very important to do that. Grow yourself often. And so every month they release a new book. So here's what drives me nuts. Is people say, well, I read a book in like an hour. Really, tell me what you learned. Because it's not about reading a book, it's about studying the book. Study the book. That's why it's a book a month. 12 books a year is pretty good, way to go here. I want you to study the book, not just read it. I want you to study the book for a month. I like that it gives you a month, okay? So Grow Now is the promo code. Go to myvirtualgap.com. And so I'm going to open it up for Q&A. We've got a couple of minutes. And so over on the left-hand side, if anyone wants to throw a question in there, go ahead and throw a question, and I'll answer that. I'm going to just take a couple, and then I'm going to share with you guys what we're going to be doing going forward in this webinar series. So any questions, y'all throw them out there. Is this being recorded? I know I've seen that 100 times on the left-hand side. I am attempting to record this right now. We'll see. I'll look back at it as soon as we get done and see how I did. So here's another tip as a business owner is I don't like to just throw my money out there. I've actually finagled a way to freely do this webinar. It can hold up to 200 people, so I need to work on that. We only had 100 and something people join us. I want to get it to where I'm maxing it out every time. But I'm recording for free, so that's how we're going to find out if it works. So can you give an example of handling a problem with solutions? Okay, so someone's problem is they want to lose weight, right? Okay, so I mean that's a pretty common one for most companies, have weight loss in them or similar, and so someone's telling me they want to lose weight, so I'm going to provide a solution to that. Well, obviously my company has a weight management system, and so what I would simply do is go to them. Maybe, not within that first 1 minute of them telling me, but maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and say, hey, I remember you telling me that you wanted to get healthy, you wanted to lose some weight. Is that the case? Notice I asked a question. Is that really the case? They're going to say yes. I'm going to say, well, I have a solution for that, and I would like to share it with you. When can we chat later today? And here's why I do that, is because if I go into the details, and this is different for every company, this is particular to my company, but if I were to go into the details of what the product is and how it works, we're going to be there for hours, mainly because it's going to take me an hour to figure out all the scientific stuff behind it, because that's not me. We're going to be there for hours though, so I'm going to say, can we chat later, like in an hour, right? I just want to send you a quick 10-minute video that'll brief you on it, and then I'll answer any questions that you have, and we can go into more detail on what you want to learn more about. So very simple, not difficult at all. Had the problem of wanting to lose weight. I said I had a solution, right? And then I'm going to give a clear answer to that by getting them on the phone, number one, letting them watch a video, and then sharing a couple of testimonies with them. And obviously with a weight management system, that is a clear, it's a system, right? So I don't have to put a lot of thought into that. It's nutrition capsule and tea. Pretty simple. So hopefully that kind of answers your question. Like I said, it's going to be different. When you hear problems arise, it's going to come to mind. It's just natural for us. When we have a problem, we know how to find a solution. No different than someone else having a problem and you helping them find a solution. Many people are inconsistent. They say one thing and do not stick with it. How can I encourage consistency? Is that for a prospect or is that for a teammate? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. What is your favorite video? I'm not going to answer industry or company specific questions, but if you want to private message me afterwards on Facebook, I'll help you out there. Best way to ask for a meeting with business person owner? Well, ask. It's the power of asking. Just ask. Say, hey, I'd love to pick your brain. Or like I said earlier, there's a post I made on my Jessica Hayes Facebook page, which is don't y'all like the color of my nails? Don't even ask. I keep seeing them on the screen. But there's a post that I made about being clear about what you want to accomplish. And especially if you're going up to an entrepreneur or a business owner, they don't have a lot of time. And so let them know up front that you want to respect their time, but you would love to take them to lunch. And if you're asking them, if you don't know them and you want to take them for lunch, you should probably buy their lunch. Just going to throw that out there. I don't know if you have a specific person that you're asking, but take them to lunch and ask them if you can just pick their brain. Here's what you're not going to do. You're not going to say, I want to share something with you, because you don't know their need. You've got to know someone's need, right, before you can share something. So you want to go to lunch and you want to pick their brain. You want to ask questions. How did they get started in that industry? Why did they choose that industry? How is that working out for them? Are they living their dreams? If it wasn't that, then what would they be doing? If money wasn't the issue, what would they be doing? Would they be off traveling with their family? Would they be out fishing? What would they be doing? Ask questions to get people to tell you what their dreams and their goals are. That's what you want to find out. So those are all the questions I'm going to take. I want to share my quick story with you. 6 years ago, I was graduating college, actually a little longer than that now. Graduated college, degree in healthcare administration. I never used my degree, so like $30,000 in debt. And I found myself working in retail management about 80 hours a week. And some of you probably can relate to that. And, I was just struggling to get by. I like to tell people I just wanted to own my couch that I was sitting on every night. And so I had a family member approach me, and he said, hey, we're going to get rich. And I said, absolutely, no, we're not. And I laugh at it now because I'm like, what was I thinking? Because he went and did it. And he did it, and I saw him do it, and I had a week where everything changed for me, and I worked 100 hours. You know what week this was? It was the week of Christmas. I clocked 100 hours at my job. And that was a turning point. I had to start asking myself, is this really what I want to do 10, 20, 30, or 40 years from now? Absolutely not. No, I didn't want to do that. I didn't have a family then. I was 23 years old at the time. And I was working that type of hours. And I knew that if I continued down that path, that not much was going to change. And I knew I was going to have to change something, right? And so I went back to that brother-in-law and I said, you made this happen. I was basically the idiot that said no, right? Let's just be honest. And so I said, teach me what you know. I want what you have. And so he got me started in the company. I really just tapped into the support team. Guys, get a support team in your business. Just get a support team. If you don't have a good upline, go find a good upline. But find someone to mentor you along the way. I had tons of mentors, and one of them was my phenomenal husband, Brandon, and I'm so grateful for him. But I attached myself to those people. I picked their brains often, and I started to fail. I didn't start to have success immediately. I started to fail. I failed a lot in the beginning, and because I failed, I learned what didn't work. But I was too dumb to just stop. I was like, no, it didn't work. We're going to go find another way. And I kept doing that. And because I was relentless, I ended up in 12 months making enough money part-time that I was able to walk away from that full-time job. Now, I can't tell you what monetary amount that is. That's not being compliant with, the industry. But what I can tell you is that I was a 23-year-old kid. I didn't have that many bills. It didn't take much for me to be able to do that. But it allowed me to have choices that I'd never had before. I was able to wake up in the morning and go, I woke up when my eyes wanted to open. I didn't have to listen to the alarm clock, right? And I was able at that point to go work this business a little harder. And because those are the choices that this opportunity gave me, I started with a dream. I grew up in Kentucky. I'm from a small town, Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's the Corvette capital of the world. And so I grew up there. I always wanted to live on the beach. And what I always thought is that I would make it there. I knew I would get to the beach. I just didn't know when. I didn't know if I would be in my 20s, in my 40s, or retired, but I knew I would get there. And I always thought, though, when I did, I'd probably be like most locals and only see the beach when I was driving by it and maybe get to put my toes in the sand a couple times a year. But because of the opportunity of network marketing, I was able in less than 6 years, I think it's like 5 years, I was able to take that dream, turn it into a goal because of the opportunity, and make it my reality of April of 2015. And so just know that whatever you have going on in your life, if you will just turn your dreams into your goal and find a way to make it happen, it can be your reality. So that's me. I'm signing off. We're going to be doing webinars more. Eventually, you'll get to see Brandon. I'm going to pull him in on a couple of webinars with me, and we're just going to hash it out, probably kick back and just hang out in our pajamas and have some fun. But thank you guys for joining with me tonight. It's exciting to see everyone join in, want to grow. Give me some feedback. I'm going to be sending you guys a couple of tools via email after this. And if you will, go follow me on Facebook if you aren't already. Facebook.com/Jessica Hayes org, O-R-G. It's not .org, it's just Jessica Hayes org, one word. And excited to see you guys succeed, continued success, and we'll see you at the top.